Hello everyone, what is up? I am back once again for more streaming action, and last night we beat Metal Gear Solid 2, which kind of surprised me because just of how long that the ending cutscene truly was. I mean, not the ending itself, but like the fight leading up to it, the cutscene before that, the final boss fight with Solidus Snake in the middle of Wall Street where there's nobody else around, just you and him, which doesn't make sense. But yeah, because that lasted a total of 30, yeah, I think it was 34 minutes, I want to say, is how long it lasted, because I kept an eye on the time. But tonight, I am excited because I'm going to be starting up Metal Gear Solid 3, and 3 is my absolute favorite. It is a ton of fun. Great storyline. It's just like a James Bond film. It's a ton of fun. So I'm excited to get this one started. I will be doing that right now. But I am going to warn you though, however, that this game, especially this one, this has like probably the most talking and inactivity parts just going through. And because I am doing kind of like more of a lore run, so to speak, of this game, where I'm going through, letting all the cutscenes play out, all the codec conversations and so forth, it can get kind of lengthy. But like I said, this is my absolute favorite out of the entire franchise so far. So let's fire it up. Double tapped it for me. Nice. I just hit it once. It's like, nope, you'd press it twice. We know what you meant. Now I have a save from when I last played this. I think it was about 2 years ago, I think it was, because I bought this while I was at going to college. And there was a GameStop in the mall right next to kind of where I went to school at. There was a mall nearby. So I looked them up online to see who had this game. And they had it in stock, so I was like, I went running over and told them to hold it for me online, and as soon as class got out, went over there and picked it up. I'll let this intro play out.
Tree frog, it's ordeal, the trial to survive for the day.
And if you missed out Sumi, or Sumichu as she's known on Twitter, if you missed out Sumi singing this song, she sang this for Awesome Games Done Quick this year. And she just freaking nailed it, just like knocked it completely out of the park. She did like just as good as what you've just heard. And it was amazing. And I got to talk to her briefly online about it. She's really very personal. If you reach out to her and ask her questions, she'll respond back to you. So she told me that she was getting over being really sick, was like hacking her lungs up with coughing. She was like, trying not to cough the entire time. And she had to get up there and sing, and she told me like she was really nervous like 15 minutes beforehand. She's like, yeah, I gotta go sing, and I'm been hacking my lungs out. I'm like, oh my god. But she pulled it off. I mean, she belted out all the notes, everything, and as soon as she stopped, it's like, it was impressive. But yeah. But this game is awesome because this is the HD versions, of course, still, but this has the original Metal Gears for the MSX on a Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, which is a lot of fun. Maybe I'll play those one of these days just for fun to make sure, just to show them off what they were like, because these are the versions that we did not get in the United States. We got Metal Gear got ported to the Nintendo, which looked completely different. Metal Gear 2 was a completely different game on the Nintendo. Even Kojima pretty much disavows that game existing. Captions on, full-time cutscenes, full screen, or yeah, full screen, don't need to do that. Brightness adjustment, another more nonsense. Anyone, they're like, just adjust your televisions. Like, screw you, man, turn up the brightness in the game. Alright, so I think I have a load file. Let's see. Yeah, so last time I played this was, a little over last year. A little over a year ago is when I got the game. We're going to do a brand new game. The only thing that's missing from this version versus the PlayStation 3 one that I own, well, first off, this one has a full 3D camera, which is why I like this version better. It is quite the improvement. But the original PlayStation 3 version had like an Ape Escape minigame style in there where you had to run around and shoot the apes from Ape Escape games and pick them up, which was great. And there are little secrets hidden throughout this game, but we're going to do a brand new game. I like playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time. Metal Gear Solid series first time. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, or 3. We're going for number 2 just because there's a little Easter egg if you do that. Normal. And I did not beat this on this version, at least. I can't remember why I stopped. I think it's when I started getting seriously into speedrunning. And then my back blew out.
At the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Now we let all the cutscenes play out. I literally probably won't be touching the controller for 10 minutes at this point, if not longer.
Altitude 30,000 feet. Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
So take note of how old this guy is right here, who's talking right now. The guy with the vertical scar and the gray hair. Just remember him, okay? Trust me.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
Like it's a covert mission, but I'm in a clearly marked American plane.
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Repressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Oh no, the sun exploded.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
So I think he just meant...
130 miles per hour.
Yeah, so I pretty much think he meant to say, like, just 46 degrees below Fahrenheit.
Move to the rear.
Well, actually, it's not too far off, really, but...
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
Because they're up at, like, around 35, 40,000 feet. It's only around 40 below zero, so...
Status okay. All green.
Although 40 below Celsius isn't too much more. When you get to 46 Celsius below, you start hitting, like, 60 below zero.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Just nerd things. Now, what's kind of neat about this is even though you're watching cutscenes, you do have parts you can interact with. You can still look around in first-person views at parts. And usually it'll tell you,
important news.
but sometimes it doesn't.
Head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission.
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it.
10 minutes, by the way. No input since then.
Facility.
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
So I think right here is a part where I can look around in first-person view for a little bit. You can also zoom in at any time you want with the right trigger. It is pressure sensitive too, so you can in and out if you want, slowly or fast, which is nice. Gives you a little more control. So right now you can look down at the ground rushing up at you, which is pretty cool. There are parts later on in the game where you can go into first-person view and it doesn't tell you. There's actually a trophy if you get the 3 of them, which I know where they are, I think.
We'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
I want to say it's been probably about 7 or probably close to 10 years since I played through this all the way.
The recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
Let's hope he didn't eat a lot of weight. He didn't eat a lot of burritos.
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
A Spectre gunship, basically.
She could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. For me. By the way, it should be noted that this part of Russia in real life is not mountainous. It's pretty flat and almost no trees. And I absolutely loved this part right here. Because you pick, like, I like Metal Gear Solid 2, it gives you Jack's face, Raiden's face, for Metal Gear Solid 2, which is outstanding. Just basically playing up the joke, like, yes, I know you didn't like him as a character, haha, let's laugh at it. So that was, let's see, 15 minutes before I had full direct control outside of just a first-person camera view. But yeah, this is... Like I said, this part of Selenoyarsk and Russia is actually very flat and no mountains whatsoever. But, you know, they took liberties with it, and that's fine. It's a video game. Now, the neat thing about this version of the game, the HD remaster that I'm playing right now, is that not only has it been... I don't think the original PlayStation 3 version had a 16:9 mode, but it was transformed to fit 16:9. And there was also... the game was improved because the game ran 30 frames a second, and now this version runs 60. So it is a pretty good improvement. It's not a stable 60,
Do you copy?
but it's pretty
You're
good.
already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
It's only 55? I thought he was older than that in this game.
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Major Tom to
Oh,
ground
Snake.
control.
Yeah,
The crew isn't
I love that. It updated from Major Zero to Major Tom. That is
good idea.
awesome.
This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
And once again, another little Easter egg just because of the option I picked to start the game. If you pick Metal Gear Solid 1 or 3, any other option but this, you don't have the mask.
Can you hear me, Major Tom? This is Snake.
Calling ground control.
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes.
Great, let me take off my clothes.
Snake was your idea of a joke.
Like being buck naked.
There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Because the original game basically looked like this. You had this top-down view, just like the other games up to this point. Actually, the very first version of Metal Gear Solid 3 was the same way, but then Subsistence came out, which is a re-release, because due to popularity of games like Splinter Cell, where you have full 3D camera, so they implemented it for this game. Which is, in my opinion, a way better. I mean, because I remember playing Metal Gear Solid 3 when this came out, thinking, why is this still top-down view? You know, why is this not, you know, 3D camera? It baffled me even then. I love the game, but it just confused me as to why he had made that choice.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0,
And this is something I really don't like that they introduced into this game, and they've kept it through all the rest of them, is that your suppressors wear out like nobody's business. When in actuality, you can put like 10, 20,000 rounds through a suppressor before you have any problems.
Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste.
So no
Same
pooping.
goes for bullets and cartridges too.
And pick up all your
presence in
shells.
enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in.
So I'm surprised they didn't do, because, you know, they don't want you to leave shell casing rounds around,
Let anyone see you.
is what you can do, and I've done this before as an experiment.
It's a stealth mission.
Put snaps, metal snaps onto your gun slide and fabric to make sure that it's long enough to stretch for the action
Military and US
of
government
your,
will prevent any
you know,
involvement.
slide going back for when your gun fires or load a new bullet in, and have it going into like a little burlap sack going off it. So when your round gets ejected, it goes right into that. You don't leave any shell casings anywhere.
Soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
If you're not dead.
They put in my tooth before the mission.
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
Yeah, that's basically something you have to remember
Solo mission, right?
for like way later in the
I
game.
guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax.
An army
There's
of
a support
one.
Team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and
For me.
she's here on the gunship.
It's
with you.
paramedic.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
I like her a lot better than Rose.
Medic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake. Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the
Soldier,
details
mentor,
authorized in the first
mother
place.
figure, and lover.
She's going to be serving as
It's
Fox's mission
a
advisor.
really weird relationship.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
He hasn't been counting or anything.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having
Foreshadowing.
personal feelings about your comrade is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
Sorry for my sniffling. I have the window open, and I do have fall allergies, but it was just getting too hot in here.
Top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why, but you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
The leader is good, the leader is great.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms.
Yes, what was it?
Constantly changing.
Ah yes, the leader is good, the leader is great. We surrender our will as of this
As long as
date.
we have loyalty to
The
end,
movementarians.
There's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more
And
thing,
dropping
boss.
frames. Internet cut down though. I apologize.
Voice again.
It's really weird.
Same here.
For whatever reason, I have Spectrum, and they will just drop down frames out of nowhere.
You were always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
Yeah, CQC in this game gets really,
Quarters combat, huh?
really hard to
I've
do.
been in Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Like, almost everything, it's just like overcomplicated controls in this game.
After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Let's see, let me look this up. Metal Gear Solid 3 CQC controls.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
It's only been like 40 minutes. Alright. Yeah, like CQC in this game is just ridiculously overcomplicated on how to do. I mean, you can do like basic things like a throw and a slam, but I mean, if you want to try to hold somebody up, do disarming techniques and everything, it's crazy to try to figure everything out. So I'm going to pull up a message or internet thing to see if I can try to figure out, see what they're all about. Okay, so it says here B, for punch, kick combo, it's the usual. Hold it any direction, we'll do the CQC slam, which is pretty useful. I mean, just grab them, just flip them into the ground, stuns them. B without touching the analog stick is a grab. Hold B, and then hit Y to kill somebody, like slit their throat. B, then the left analog stick, push the stick down to interrogate the enemy. So you gotta like hold them, then press down, but don't do it at the same time or else you slam them. If you hold B, then flick the analog direction in any direction afterwards, and then tap B again, you'll drop an enemy to the ground. It doesn't knock them out, but you'll just let them go, and they'll go to the ground. So it's like B, flick, let go of B. It's complicated, like I said. Holding B, you can drag somebody around. If you hold down B, then you can use like X or square to aim basically you'll use the person as like human shield. If you hold B, then tap it repeatedly, quickly, then you can choke them out or break their neck. So yeah, it gets very kind of complicated. There's also like disarming moves I've seen that I don't really know exactly how to do. There's probably another list somewhere. Alright, we're just going to save over this file because I don't care about where it was before.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King
Gogeta.
of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity
Yeah.
has no way to
So
stop
Rose
him.
likes to complain about you about her relationship problems. Paramedic talks to you about movies,
Meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer
which were
to
new at the time.
obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend
In the
seeing
90s,
original
it starred
Japanese
Matthew
version
Broderick.
first.
Nobody liked it. Actually, there is one
Occasionally
person who liked it. It's my
fine, but it's
ex-girlfriend.
also got a serious
And,
anti-Semitic message
yeah,
as
we're
well.
exes.
I saw the version.
I like to say it's because of that movie, but it wasn't.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course!
This game came out in
What
2004.
about movies?
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
I wonder if I have Singets. No, I don't have him yet, but the second part, after this first little introductory part, kind of like how Metal Gear Solid 2 had the tanker levels, this part I'm on right now is like the introductory part of the game. See what the boss has to say.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool. when
Ah,
you're
yes,
sneaking out of the
camouflage
jungle.
is a big, huge part of this game.
First, press the start button to go to the survival viewer. Then select camouflage and press the enter button. Select uniform to select battle fatigues, and face to select face paint.
So in this game, you carry
Choose
around like
battle
20
fatigues
different
that match the surrounding
uniforms
environment.
to try to match what you're
The most
wearing, and you also have
effective
face paint.
camouflage is attained by selecting fatigues that blend in with the
Pardon me.
environment.
It does play a
Camouflage
crucial
patterns
part
that
too.
stand out in your surroundings will attract attention.
So if you have like a low camouflage rating, like for example, I get no, wrong button. Skip conversation. Here we go. So if you look right now, it says I'm 15% camouflage. So if you lay down, it goes up to 80, so which is pretty good. But you can go up even higher. There's actually a achievement for if you go to 100%, which is kind of tricky to do. But here it tells you at least like the different ratings. So if I do no face paint at all, it lowers down by 15%, or actually like no shirt. So the uniform, so I'm up to 85. And if I do it this way, I can go up to 90, which is, I mean, enemies will walk right past you. If you use the Raiden mask, it comes in later in the game. But because I picked the Metal Gear Solid 2 option, I have it right now. Let's see, backpack. So right now I'm armed with survival knife, the tranquilizer gun, and directional mic. And don't think I need the other ones right now. You also need to eat in this game as well, so... You can trap food. And there we go. So you can basically hold on to them and you can eat them as food, which sometimes certain things will have restorative properties. I think there's also a Caro. Here it is. Whoops, this game just screwed me around with the camera. So it's kind of hard to see. Oh, that's right, you can't walk first person view. I'm gonna climb up the tree, it'd be easier to spot. There are frogs, like little Caros, as they're known in Japan. Kero. It's like an onomatopoeia for like a frog sound in Japanese. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like right in the center of the screen right now. If you see these, all you need to do is shoot them. You'll hear them make their little sound. There's a total of, I think, 64 of them in the game. I've never gotten them all before. And to tell you the truth, I can't remember what they do, what the bonus is for getting them. But let's just shoot this one because I know it's here. There's some kind of item over here. Interesting. I don't remember if I can get up there. No. I don't think there's a way to get up over there. Oh, there is. So the biggest kind of annoyance for me, I mean, there's a lot of little things here in this game to kind of annoy me, is that you can pick up stuff, but you may not know exactly what it is. Probably food. Giant Anaconda. Calorie Mate, which is interesting because you have Calorie Mates, but they were not, I don't think they were invented until the 80s in Japan. Maybe what I got was camouflage. Go, go, Google. Google says life medicine. Okay. So it's like a healing item, apparently. Alright. So where is the Kato? Where are you at, dude? I just shot you like a moment ago. There it is. Kind of hard to see from that angle, but still can't see. But you can see it like between the trees there in the right, kind of like right below the W for woodland. Yeah, like so the thing earlier I said was like I really don't like how the suppressor wears out in this game, and that's something that they carried over from all the Metal Gear games after this. Because real life suppressors last a lot longer. So if I crouch down, 90%, perfect. All right. Alligators! Now, Russia does have swamps, but like I said, it's not in this part of the world. Not in actuality. I just shot down a beehive, which gives you certain items, so... Over this guy. Oops, there's another one there. They can whack you, hurt you. Like that. I was trying to avoid. Be cool, man. Ointment. In this game, you also have to heal yourself any wounds you get. So you do, unfortunately, spend a lot of time in the menus in this game. It's just kind of no way to get around it. You can go first-person view and see exactly what he's looking at.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in
Hey,
battle either.
B&B.
This
My
is a
favorite.
stealth mission. Got that?
It's my
The
favorite
nature
game.
of the point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen.
All the Metal Gear Solid series, at least.
Depends on how well you use your
So I was
camouflage.
lamenting and discussing earlier that this is like a
Change your
region that's like a
camouflage by
mountainous
selecting
jungle area.
camouflage from the
This part, in
survival
actuality, in Russia, Slinoyarsk, which
uniform
does
option lets you
exist,
pick your uniform,
is
while the
very
face option
flat
lets
and
you
almost no
change your face
trees.
paint. Choosing
So,
camouflage
creative
that
liberties,
blends in
if you
your
will, with this game.
surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Give me just a second. I'm just going through and checking off some stuff on my OBS. I think that might be causing sometimes some of the little drops could be happening. There we go. So now I just have Elgato up and running. Okay, perfect. Pardon me. So yes, this is the, once again, the Xbox 360 version. So improved visuals, 60 frames per second, except for right there, that does obviously drop down to 40. Bug juice! But the 3D camera that they put in from Subsistence is so much better. You saw nothing. This is where they start to get like really active too for their, like, you know, you have to like really want to hit the top of their heads in order to drop them quicker with the tranquilizer round, because it will take longer. Okay, there we go. There's the other guy. I think there's thermal goggles around here that I want to pick up. Okay, who said that? There we go. I was like, please fall down. Shaky, shaky. Shake, shake. I think that's it for bad guys in this area. I'm pretty sure I'll probably, with my luck, run into somebody else by mistake. So I think there's thermal goggles down here in this log. There they are. Unfortunately, with this game, anything you pick up goes into your backpack, so you have to go into your backpack. And add it to your items that you want to carry and use, which is more hassle. But hey, you get predator vision. Oh, I love this part. There's also a Caro for you to shoot as well. So I remember in Metal Gear Solid 3, the straight-off normal version, the non-subsistence version or HD version I'm playing based on, I remember it had the Ape Escape content, which is unfortunately missing from the Xbox 360 version. I think the PS3 version as well. So I don't know what shooting all of the frog statues gets you in this version, other than just an achievement if you get all 64, which I've never done before.
Snake, do you know the creature from the Black Lagoon?
Nope.
Yes, my ex-wife.
Some
Haha.
scientists are investigating a place deep in the Amazon called the Black Lagoon, and they get picked off one after the other by this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her from underwater. Oh, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came from Outer Space were a lot more intense, but
It wouldn't be referring to you coming from outer space, would it?
how rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Fine, I'll just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water. Just imagining you swimming in those jungle rivers makes me think of you being attacked by a fishman.
I appreciate the concern.
Fishmen aren't the only things that'll attack you in the water. Really be careful out there.
Okay.
And don't be attacking any pretty girls going for a swim, either.
Are you calling me a fish man?
You started it.
Jerry was a fisherman. He was a good friend of mine. Alright, where are you? There you are. Now, if you pull out your knife, you can actually cut all the all the struts here for this bridge. Makes it very hard to walk through, but you have a limited amount of time. I'm going to go down here because I remember later on you can get like an M16, but I don't know what's down here right now. Oh, it is the M16. It's called the XM. I'm not sure why there's an X in front of it. Maybe licensing reasons? Could be. So you have that, but it's incredibly loud, so I wouldn't bother shooting it. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's add some firepower, just in case I need it. Grenades. Yeah, if you wait around too long, those guards will come back and they will resume their patrol, which makes it easier for them to spot you. So you want to dawdle around too long.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something.
Tell him the pearl is in the pasta. He'll completely understand what it means.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
I used to love doing that to people. I was a supervisor and stuff, because I'd be like, hey, I need you to go over to this department and tell somebody this message. Oh, by the way, when you get there, tell them the pearl is in the pasta. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. They're like, what? And it's like, don't trust me. It's an inside joke. They'll know exactly what I mean there when you say the pearl is in the pasta. So like 10 minutes later, they come back to like, can you jerk? They're like, they didn't know what the heck I was talking about. It's like, yeah, I know. I just wanted you to say that and see what happened. All right, save.
Snake, have you heard of It Came from Outer Space?
Yeah, you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? And the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle here in the jungle.
No, you don't get it. Precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at you, it makes for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies anymore.
When did it come out?
I was still in college, so probably about 10 years ago?
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you want.
But not for like another
It'll be like having a
15
movie theater
years
in your own home.
at this point.
Really?
I don't think VCRs hit the market until 77, 78. I think around 76, 77 is when VCRs first dropped.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
Sounds like magic.
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
All right. Oh man, the controls are so funky. So the left control stick controls you like this, so does the right. So and unfortunately in this game, like you get like this, there's no crouch walking, so you have to hit the button again to stand up. So there's another guy I can't see just quite yet. It's around somewhere. And when you go into like first person view, it doesn't go for where your camera is, it goes for your body is positioned. So if my body's like this, my camera's in like the camera's facing this way, my body's facing eyes towards me, it goes to that view, looking directly at myself. So makes it a little bit kind of weird to do first person. It's like they still didn't quite figure out how to do third person cameras yet. There he is. Damn it. So I think that's it for guards, so I think I should be safe to approach right now. I don't think I'm going to be running into any problems. Famous last words, I'm sure. Nope, I'm good. Okay. Yeah, this was like, I think, Kojima's first game, literally, where he tried to implement 3D controls, and it's not too bad, but there were still some kinks to get worked out. By time 4 rolls around, I think they got it just fine. I think it was more modern like everything else. Those flame effects always bothered me, though. They always didn't look that good to me. Oh, my weird hentai. Gotta burn my evidence.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
Thunderbolt of Lightning. He's very frightening. Me.
A man who seeks to seize control of the motherland.
Galileo.
Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position.
And frame drops, I apologize. It's internet.
Tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
I don't know why that happens. I mean,
In a sense,
at first I was thinking like I had too many sources open in OBS, but I'm guessing it's just an internet fluctuation. And I'm on a wired connection.
plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU.
Hey, Longer
He
Night.
has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB 812.
How about this part? We'll
known
see.
as
I mean, it's
the
like,
Cronin Design Bureau.
hopefully
And
this is better.
using it to further his plans.
But during these like cutscenes here, it drops down lower, but game volume tends to go higher, so it might be a struggle. But let me know if that needs to be adjusted any further.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly.
That was one of my critiques for this game, is that the audio balancing gets way off.
Inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb.
Seems like we're just speaking English.
Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
My mentor, my mother, my
Is that
lover,
so?
child.
America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is
Now you
safe
can
with
see,
me.
like, I can even
He's
tell
doing
it's
fine.
dramatically
No
louder all of a
injuries.
sudden.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
That'd be a nightmare, just trying to get somebody out like this, and it's like not thinking about stealth at all. It's like you're trying to like sneak around, not be seen, this guy's just walking around the open like, oh, look at me. I think this is where we meet Ocelot for the first time.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss. Huh? Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Crazy old Ocelot, you gotta love him, and they just neutered his character so bad for Metal Gear Solid 5. Such a shame.
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
I tried to tell you everything. Come on, man.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives?
What is that stance?
The scene unfortunately did not translate well from
That
30 to
gun.
60 frames. You can see it juddering. Kind of weird. Everything else works fine, but I mean...
If you're not the boss,
Let's have bizarre stuff go on.
then die.
Nay.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Hey,
you ejected
Nimitz.
the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
And that's why he likes revolvers.
The American dog!
This game's a lot of long cutscenes, a lot of talking and everything else, so this one's not too long. This is the old guy in the newer games. This is his origin. This is Revolver Ocelot just starting
That was
off.
some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
This is like 1964 chronologically in the game series.
Good.
For me. Before he gets his arm chopped off by a ninja and then thinks he's possessed by Liquid Snake. You know, just usual things.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about
At least they give you something to do in these Kodak conversations,
You
you
better
know.
hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is save, because I'm going to do something. I already have the trophy or achievement for it.
You want to save? Hold on a
Paramedic!
sec.
At least she's not Rose, so that makes me happy.
Hey, Snake, have you ever seen Forbidden Planet?
No, can't say I have.
And I don't care. Skip. Alright. So, remember, this is Revolver Ocelot right on the ground. Right here in front of me. See if he's got anything worth on him. And it just fell right underneath there. So, he is a major character in the future games. So, yeah, let's just murder him. Seems you can't do that for some reason.
What have you done? You've changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
That's great, because that's the Colonel from the future games. Or Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, technically. Grandfather Paradox. It's like going back and killing your own grandfather. I love it. Time paradox. Like I said, you can't kill him now because he's got to be in the future games, which is games that already existed. So, all right, take two. And you don't have a whole lot of time, so you don't want to dawdle around too long because these guys will wake up. Mousetrap. What world is the mousetrap? Guess it's technically a weapon? Yeah, okay, interesting. Well, you do have to catch, like, prey and so forth, so... Does make... not too outlandish. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's see, where am I at? Go this way. And this is another lengthy sequence, so... I mean, the one before wasn't too bad, but this is, I think, another 10-minute segment.
Spetsnaz?
Yes.
If not longer.
The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Yes, I apologize, because there's, like... The audio in this game is not balanced well, so cutscenes tend to be quieter.
Is that thing finished?
The gameplay and Kodo calls are, like, ridiculously loud.
End of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Which is why I had subtitles on, so if you can't hear it too well, at least you can read and follow along if you want.
If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
We need to hurry! Quickly, walk 1 mile an hour.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
look, another stealth helicopter out of nowhere. Another little pet peeve of mine. Whenever you have helicopters and jets just sneak up on people, it always bugs me. Having grown up in the Air Force, knowing exactly how loud all these things really are.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood.
At least it's not raining men. I mean,
Is he
well,
crying?
unless that's your thing. This guy actually pops up a couple other times. I forgot exactly what his name is. But he pops up like several other times throughout the game. Like if you go into first person mode, sometimes it doesn't tell you during these cinematics. If you pop in the first person, you can see him lurking around. Pardon me. Which is kind of a cool thing. You can also have full control over cutscenes. So you can just zoom in on things like that.
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
Davy Crockett's, those things weigh about 75 pounds each.
These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into
So
battle.
for the Cobras, and he's leading them. Is he the
What are you
Cobra
talking
commander?
about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
And broken arm.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
But I wanna. My liver.
The new blood has been rejected.
done here?
I'm bored. I want to get going.
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Yeah, it's such a nice support crew. It's just MCI asking if they want to switch for long distance. Remember MCI? Well, that's a trip to the past. I just gave myself nostalgia for telemarketers trying to get me to switch long distance. I'll remember when long distance was something you had to pay for? Jeez.
Snake, can you hear me?
Well, you still do for landlines, I guess.
Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move?
Parts of my body in wrong directions.
Got to get
yes.
those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go.
Grab the spork.
First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and
It's
lacerations
technically
on your
called
upper
an elbow
arms, right elbow,
dislocation,
and
but
abdomen.
trust me, it's broken and
They
it
need
hurts
to
like
be
hell.
fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body.
If you want to know what it
Once
feels
you've
like,
selected the
hit your
affected
funny
area,
bone
hold the
really,
weapon window
really
button and
hard.
use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Which gets to be kind of annoying. I mean, if you get into like a confrontation and you get shot up, you do need to go in and constantly heal yourself. So this game, unfortunately, while having a lot of cool things, you do spend a lot of time in the menu. Alright, cut. Alright, let's see. Deep cut bleeding, no bandage applied, not yet disinfected. So let's see, we need to... Treating colds, digestive medicine. I just didn't know what these things were. I'd picked them up before. Okay, so... Bandage applied, disinfected, so we need to do... Disinfect. Styptic. Suture. Bandage. That one's done. Deep cut bleeding. Disinfected. Okay, let's see. Deep cut bleeding. Same thing again. Okay. Let's see. Bone fracture. This one's just a splint. I thought. And bandage. Okay. So it doesn't really matter like what step you kind of do it, I don't think, at least, but yeah, you want to kind of go just like you normally would if you were doing it real life. You want to control bleeding and everything else before you suture it up. And actually the best thing if you ever become like me, hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, so if you ever become like me and you really want to get into it, ooh, dropping frames suddenly. Do your own stitches. Super glue works really well, unless it's like a really, really majorly bad cut. You know, something you need to definitely seek medical attention for if it's super deep. But yeah, you can get away with super glue a lot of times. Let's see, disinfect, styptic, suture, bandage. Bone fracture. So it's just broken rib? Yeah, there's nothing you can do for that. They don't even wrap broken ribs anymore. And put a splint on it for some reason? That doesn't make sense, but whatever. And celery crunch.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Oops, missed a prompt there to look around. My bad.
Shagohod.
That'd be so incredibly dangerous to do. Having that many helicopters flying in that close proximity. Even, I mean, they're different heights, but still the rotor wash and everything would be extremely dangerous. You'd have to have like perfect coordination with all 5 pilots trying to fly those helicopters. For when to turn, how much direction, you still have momentum swing from the whatever you're carrying itself. I mean, I guess you could do it, but I mean, you'd normally want to pull in a Sikorsky if you have one, ideally. If this wasn't like a covert Russian operation.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her Cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
He smells like grill.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
So you like flying in helicopters?
She's a nice catch.
Undertaker. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
But can she bring the funk? We'll find out
Shall we
later.
take her
She's
back
pretty
to
awesome. I
base?
like her character a lot in this game.
Perhaps we should.
We
have
will
no
be seeing
further
a lot
use
of
for
her.
Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger.
So it's a Davy Crockett. Those do
Be our
exist.
friend, the American.
But the warhead itself was like 75 pounds, as I mentioned. The launcher tube was about a good 25 to 30, so you're looking at 100 pounds overall. And it was not designed to be fired handheld, but of course Volgan's just such a big badass, he can do it. It also wasn't too accurate. You didn't have the best range on it, so we kind of abandoned using them, or even thinking of using them, really. They were like very low yield, supposed to be like tactical nuclear weapons, if that can actually be a thing, but it was. They didn't have parachutes, they just basically exploded on impact. But it was kind of cool, they did have a switch. You could set it for like high or low yield, so it basically how much fissile material would go off in it, so you could adjust its strength before you shot it, which is kind of neat. Of a weapon that can be used to kill, you know, hundreds of thousands of people. Yes, we will save. Thank you. Yeah, so this game, while it is my favorite, I've said it before multiple times, especially during my Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough I just got done yesterday with. There is a lot of cutscenes and a lot of talking. But hey, I love this. If you like James Bond, you'll love this intro. Just let it rock.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Cry.
It's actually not the last time we'll hear that song either. It will be sung a cappella later on in the game. It's pretty much unavoidable, and you will know it when you hear it. 1 week later, I've somehow magically healed from being thrown off a bridge and a broken arm and
Currently
everything else.
flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Yep, like 10 years before it existed.
We can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
Actually, according to the internet, it says the SR-71's first test flight was 1964, so this would have been its first flight.
Patient in one of the most advanced ICUs
Pretty cool.
in the world.
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a traitor and an accomplice to the
They are
boss's defection.
ridiculously huge.
They're just
And like I
looking
said,
to
also
escape.
growing up in Air Force brat, right when they were just being decommissioned because spy satellites and
neither
so
one of us
forth
is gonna
were
be made a
basically a lot
national
easier to
hero.
do. They leaked a lot of fuel before they got up
No.
to speed.
This Fox
So
is
while
still
they were
one
like
step
sitting
ahead of
around
Ham.
ready to take off,
The
or
reason
even
I
before they
came
got
to see you
supersonic, the
Jack,
plates would then fuse
it's
up
time
and the
for
leaks
Fox
would
to clear its
stop.
neck.
But before then, they'd be
What are you
leaking
talking
fuel
about?
all over the place.
The
They weren't
situation
like
has changed.
massive
We've
leaks,
still got a
but they
chance to
still
ride this
happened.
one alive.
It's just
Yeah,
how they had to
what kind of
design it in
chance?
order
Don't
to
get too
withstand all the
excited.
super speeds that they were going.
Yeah.
Unofficially
Have a
Mach
cigar.
5.
It's Cuba.
It's never been confirmed how fast its top speed was, but it's been, you know, the Air Force community, things you
Morning,
hear,
I had a
it's
meeting
around
with
Mach
the
5
CIA.
or so.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No.
Which is funny, because I actually talked to a pilot,
Something
a
even
guy who
bigger.
did fly the SR-71. I asked him how long it took
Yesterday,
to turn
the White
around. He
House
says, like,
received
one, you
an
don't
unexpected
turn.
call.
Basically, you line up where you're going to fly, and you just go. You circumnavigate the Earth and land. But he's like, if you were to turn going at speed, it's about the size of Russia is how long it would
was a
take for you to make a
hotline call
turn
from Khrushchev
when you're going that
President
fast. Because if you do
From the head
anything
of the
more
Soviet
extreme, you
Union?
just break
That's
up
right.
instantly.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin, of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Duh.
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear
Why are you repeating
shells.
everything I'm telling you? Are you
I'm
slow,
afraid so.
son?
I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in a violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
Nuclear vessels will be
Put it
everywhere.
simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice.
Apprentice.
Screw this one up, and
She
we'll
was
both
also
be
your
6
mother
feet under.
figure and also your
There's no
lover,
choice.
which is Japan. I mean, that's pretty much what you gotta say for explain everything weird and creepy. Japan.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to
look
lend us
around
one of
and-
their communications satellites, so that
Hey,
you and I can talk
hey,
to each other.
Yumikuchi.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Control,
Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
And you'd probably block out from that sudden acceleration too. Wow, it's like deja vu all over again. It lands you in the exact same spot you just landed to start the game. I think.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss?
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
So like this,
I'm
take a look at
changing
his
my
profile.
code. It turns out Tom.
So Major
wasn't the
Tom,
most
you'll see it switch
auspicious
to
choice.
0, I think it is.
Well, the truth is, when I chose my code name, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
I must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
That would
the
have
greatest
cost like
name to
thousands of
use.
dollars.
So what should I call you?
You remember thousands of dollars
let's
in
just
the early
use
60s
zero,
was
like we've been
a lot.
doing all along.
Now watch his code
All
name.
right, then.
Refreshes
Major
Major
it
Zero.
is. We'll start
Perfect.
over from square one.
From square 0. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96.
I mean, we probably should have told you this all
And there's
before
one more
we sent
person
you
on
off.
your support
but
team.
oops.
His name is Mr. Sigint.
Sigint!
He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How will I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and Lali Lule Lo.
Lali Lule Lo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Yeah, so I think it landed me just about in the same area. I think I have a tranquilizer gun still. Let's see. Backpack. Nope, I just got the loud ass gun, so that's not cool. But I do have a knife, so once again, in this game you need to eat food, so I can actually hunt. Snake! And you can eat it and find out how it tastes, and certain things will taste better than others. Right now I just need to figure out exactly where I am. Mr. Ed, they didn't tell me you're coming on this mission.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
Shouldn't be able to use it, but...
Go home. Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss!
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America.
So the bolts are tumbling, which means the barrel's too short. Also, accuracy is crap, so yeah, not really a reliable weapon.
That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry.
Yep, there he is.
The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long.
So now I have a broken hand and wrist. Which is, magically it's okay, because whenever that happens I open up the thing thinking I need to heal myself. You don't.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to
How'd you
beat
get a
her.
picture of me getting my
I
butt
know
kicked?
that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
Same here. It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
More talking.
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Then you must have seen me naked.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Let's hope so. But seriously, don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you really shouldn't even be on this mission. Keep an eye on your stamina gauge. If you start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina. And try not to get yourself hurt. If you're wounded or get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes, there was talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
Good. I believe in you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
It's fraudulent anyway.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
So that I could watch over you. Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble, to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other. So that's why I volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Stop right there. You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Finally, save. I was thinking about stopping right after this conversation, but I kind of want to get to Adam tonight, I should say. It's not too far. It's basically right where I rescued Sokolov, so it's like
Okay,
2 or 3
good luck,
screens
Snake.
up.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see.
What's this?
So there is camouflage in this game you need to use. So let's put this on. %95. There's actually like a achievement for getting 100%. I don't know exactly what combination I need to use. The camouflage is like really necessary in this game.
We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Exciting, thrilling action as you sit around and do nothing. So as it goes away, they should be returning back to the normal patrol routes, which should give me some breathing room.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. No problems detected.
Understood. Return to your position.
Okay, so let's actually go with... Yeah, Tiger Stripe's gonna be best. Go with the Metal Gear Solid 2 Raiden mask. Whoa, controls, hello. Press LS button to emit waves. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Use a motion sensor.
You want to save?
If she starts talking about something, I'm just going to blow right through it right now. Like I said, I just want to get to Adam real quick.
Chin up.
Okay, cool. Brief conversation. Very good. She's more entertaining than Rose, but she can still get long-winded. And let's send you down the river. There we go. No witnesses. Okay, he's dead. Can't remember, because before there was the M16 was down here, which is kind of annoying that they give you this cool weapon, but then they don't put it back. Man, smoke grenades, uniform raindrop. What does this one look like? Effective in the rain. Cool.
You want to... Take care.
Yeah, I can't remember if there's bad guys around here or not. Yep, there is. Something's getting picked up on the radar. Oh, it's a snake over there. Okay. No. Cardboard box. Yeah. It's weird. You have to go into that room, then come out in order to trigger it, because it threw me off so much the first time I played this. I was like, what is happening? Oh, if you like big old butts, you'll like who's going to show up here.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me! Trapped.
Get down! There is your answer.
No, not really. You still didn't give me the password. By the way, first person view, you can just stare at her.
The name's Eva.
It's like her eyes are up here, but you're looking down here as a character. Good job, Snake.
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
What happened to Adam?
Colonel Volgin is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were?
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Kind of.
Mauser military.
She's got a lot of sex appeal, and she is the femme fatale.
It packs quite a punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
But you do actually get to see her again in Metal Gear Solid 4.
And use the muzzle jump to create a horizontal.
She's like 100 years old, but she's in it.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol. Around here, even that's hard to come by. Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
.45, huh? Incredible.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized. you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You had this with you, didn't you? Better take this too.
What's that?
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then?
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear. First, you'll need to head north through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse. Make your way through the warehouse and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight.
Which is something you do even in Metal Gear Solid 4,
Right,
which is
let's get going.
retconned.
Wait a minute.
Because you don't do it in 1 or
What
2.
now?
So,
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more. You look disappointed. All right then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down. What's the matter?
I didn't bring my teddy
well
bear.
enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Gonna get that?
Something.
She's right,
Eat 'em
Zeke.
whole.
You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU. Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap.
Just don't do it
Doctor's
while you're
orders,
driving, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Save, yes. We will save. Wakes up in a panic, shoots himself in the kneecap. It's a portable radio. Ta-da! Watch out.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
We've got company. It's the Ocelot unit.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Let's get out of here. Hurry.
I'm about to die. Better
Don't
look at her
forget your
breasts.
Here, give me a hand. We can use this to get to the basement.
I wouldn't call it a basement. I'd call it more of a crawl space, but hey, to each their own.
Damn it. Ocelot. I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy. Huh?
Don't go dying on me now.
It's like I'm trying to get into the locker. It's... Hey, it's the thermal goggles. Cool.
Move!
Oh, geez. The motion detector was on when I got in here. I can't turn it off. It's just gonna screw up all the batteries.
Move!
Not sure what they're shooting at, really.
Did we lose him? What? Not here? He's not here? Keep looking. Move! Move! Move!
Okay, you think they're dispersing now? Directional mic I don't need. Let's see. Grenade, stun grenade, smoke. Don't need that. Don't really need binoculars. Sonar, don't really know how to use. This just basically vibrates your controller if somebody gets close. Thermal goggles would be good. Yeah, cardboard box. So trapped here. Need to go out in this direction. What I like about this game is like you really do need to use stealth. You know, a lot of times you'll have like a stealth game, you don't really need to use stealth. This one you really do.
I see him!
Oh, that's great. Let's run away.
Cover!
Oh no, the door's locked. As you can tell, shooting and aiming is still a problem. I think there's a gun up here. Or not, I thought there was. Jeez. That's not good. Okay, that's the last guy. Okay, can't open those lockers. There's the ladder. Okay, so there is an enemy count, so I just noticed that on the screen like right now, finally. So someone's still left alive I need to track down and murder. I'm not sure exactly where. Okay, he's over here. Good night. So now I think the gate is magically opened. Nope, or guess not. Okay. Nope, I just have to walk over here. So now the coast is clear and not everybody's dead. This is one of those things you have to pretty much, you're forced to fight everyone. So we get to encounter our favorite friend again.
I've been waiting for this moment. That's it. That's the stance. I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume.
There's actually a way you can disarm somebody like that. If they have a cross hold on
Stay
you,
where you are.
they can't see your opposite arm. So if they have the right hand going across your body to the left side of your neck, they won't be able to see your left hand reach up to grab the knife. So you can grab, rotate quickly down, and you'll either strip it from them or get them in enough painful of a lock where they'll drop their knife or gun or whatever the situation would be.
It's a nice
but
gun.
don't get into that situation to start
But the
with.
engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
By the way, she has a Chinese gun and knows Kung Fu. So, hint hint. I love this, it's just so preposterous. Motorcycle flip, sure, why not?
6 shots. That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left. This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
Damn! This isn't over yet.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
They'll create another time paradox.
You'll regret stopping me. Damn it! I've got to get back before he does.
And physics no longer apply. I don't think that'd even be possible if you're on the moon. If you have like 1/6 of the gravity, I don't think that'd still work. Alright. I could remember there was like an AK-47 or something around up there, I want to say. Maybe it was like before in the opening part of the game. Nope. Okay, there it is. Yeah, there is an AK-47. It's weird, it just doesn't appear until after that part. So that's... Firepower is always helpful to have, but let's get out of here, and then I'm going to save and stop. I know, I'm not looking where I'm running, doing something real fast. Okay.
You want to save? Hold on a sec. Snake, have you seen Earth versus the...
No, don't care. Like I told you yesterday, no! Oh no, it didn't work again. I hate it when it does this. Doesn't play things right. Yes, there we go. Now it finally worked. I don't know why OBS does that other than it's just OBS. Alright, so I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. My back is screaming at me. This is a long, talky game, so of course I will be playing more of it like I'm going through the rest of everything else with Metal Gear Solid. Don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow or not because my dad's actually having knee replacement surgery tomorrow, so I might be busy taking care of things around the house, but we'll see. It won't be Metal Gear Solid 3, it'll probably be something else. I have a list of games, things I just want to play. Might hit that up there and see what I can mess around with and have fun with. So thanks for hanging out, always good to see everybody, and I will see you all next time. Around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if I stream. So we'll see you then.